They thought you'd break. They thought you'd come back, begging, apologizing, doubting yourself. That was their plan. But you did the unthinkable. You went quiet. You stopped arguing. You healed. And when the narcissist saw that, when they realized they no longer had power over your emotions, something inside them shattered. See, to a narcissist, your pain is fuel, your chaos is control. But when you become calm, unbothered, detached, you become dangerous. Because they can't manipulate silence, they can't twist peace. And when they finally realize that you've won, without shouting, without revenge, without needing them to see it, that's when the real collapse begins. They expected war. They expected you to fight back, to scream, to beg, to plead for clarity or closure. Because that's how the game works, at least in their world. But you didn't play. You didn't scream. You didn't chase. You walked away. And in doing so, you didn't just win. You dismantled their entire illusion of control. To a narcissist, conflict is not a problem, it's a playground. Every argument, every emotional outburst you once had, they fed off it. Because as long as you're reacting, they know they still matter. They know they still have space inside your mind. But when you stop fighting, when you step out of the ring entirely, you deny them the very oxygen they need to survive. And that's something they never saw coming. Most people believe strength is loud. But Stoicism teaches us a deeper truth. True strength is in restraint. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." You didn't need revenge, you needed release. Not because you were weak, but because you were wise. There's a moment, a very specific one, when you realize that arguing with a narcissist is like trying to wrestle shadows. You'll exhaust yourself swinging at illusions. And in the process, you give them exactly what they crave, attention. But when you grow in emotional intelligence, you recognize that silence is not surrender. Silence is elevation. It is the refusal to dance with dysfunction. And that's where your transformation began. You didn't win because they lost. You won because you reclaimed the one thing they were quietly trying to steal, your emotional autonomy. You stopped seeking their validation. You stopped trying to fix their distortion. And most importantly, you stopped explaining your worth. Because people with true inner peace do not argue to be understood. They walk away to protect their clarity. The narcissist thrives in confusion. They win when you're uncertain, unstable, reactive. So what happens when you become calm, quiet, indifferent? You short-circuit their manipulation. You flip the dynamic. You hold the power without ever lifting a finger. And they feel it. Oh, they feel it. Not in words, but in your silence. Not in confrontation, but in your absence. Think of it this way. When a fire burns and no one fuels it, it dies. You didn't scream at the fire. You didn't beg it to stop burning. You simply stopped feeding it. And that's what scorched their ego the most. Here's the most powerful truth. Walking away doesn't mean you gave up. It means you finally understood the cost of staying. It means you saw that peace is too expensive to trade for chaos. It means you chose yourself, not your wounds, not your ego, not your need to be proven right, but the version of you that wanted to heal. And that's why you won. This wasn't a battle of words. It was a battle of energy. And you chose to stop giving yours to someone who only knew how to drain it. They thought they destroyed you, but all they really did was reveal the parts of you that needed to rise. Now they watch from a distance, confused, bitter, unable to reach you. Because once you've seen through the game, once you've elevated beyond reaction, there's no going back. You didn't win because they hurt you. You won because you healed. And that is a language they can never speak. For most people, silence is uncomfortable. It feels awkward, cold, distant. But for a narcissist, silence is lethal. It doesn't just hurt their feelings. It destroys their illusion of power. Because in the mind of a narcissist, silence means only one thing. You no longer need them. Narcissists are addicted to attention. Good or bad, love or hate, it doesn't matter. As long as you're reacting, they exist. As long as your emotions revolve around them, they feel real. But the moment you go quiet, a terrifying truth sets in for them. I am no longer significant in their world. And that realization, it breaks them more than any insult ever could. Carl Jung once said, "The narcissist lives through others. Their sense of self is a reflection in the eyes of someone else." Take away that mirror, and what's left? Nothing. No reflection, no identity, no center. Because deep inside, narcissists are hollow. They are not built on self-worth. They're built on performance, on how you react, how you admire, how you suffer.